Shalom, shalom. I am Moray Amir Ryder, Moray of Torah Cultural Assembly, and I just wanted to give you an update of what's going on with me, what's going on with TCA. It's been almost 9 months since the last time we posted a video. So just wanted to update you all. Just woke up from a nice Sabbath nap and decided, hey, you know what? Maybe I should say something now. I think now is a good time. But I've been good. Man. I've been out here working my land, doing what I got to do in my home, on my homestead. Right here behind me, it's nothing but okra. You see that? So just doing what it is that I need to do to take care of my land. I think it's important to practice what it is that we preach, so to speak. And, we should be able to test the fruit. We should be able to observe the fruit to see if what this person is saying is really working. How does what this person teach impact not only their life, but how can it impact yours? So right here, I got my okra, and right there to my left, I literally have fruit. Now, that's my muscadines right there. And I got my other crops over here. So I'm just doing what it is that I'm supposed to do as a Hebrew, and holding myself accountable to the things that I speak, to the things that I put out there among the masses, which is part of the reason why I wanted to do this video. I was talking to my family today about leadership, and we basically did a case study on Moses, and there's so much that you can extract from Moses as far as leadership. But one thing, when I assess the landscape of the community that I'm aware of, there's not a lot of accountability, right? There's not a lot of submission to elders. And what I see when people are taking on elders is usually like some younger teacher who one of their elders may be a older man who may be in their 40s, 50s, even 60s, but they are brand new into the walk. So maybe 2 or 3 years, if that. And they're acknowledging them as elders, and that's not what I say when I say elders. That's not what I recommend. And usually the person younger than them have been in the walk longer than a person who they are describing as their elder. It's really kind of a bait and switch type of technique, but I don't want to get into much of that right now. But you should have an elder who's been in this walk longer than you, who has been around for some time and has some type of fruit that you can see. You can see a track record or a pattern of works that has been established, so that you can identify the pattern and see, where this person come from, what has this person been doing, who their teachers were, and stuff like that. So I stepped away to allow my elders. I don't know if I'm supposed to say their names, if they want me to say their names. I know my elders like to. They don't like all of the attention. But my direct elder, most people already know who that is, so I'm going to go ahead and say that. So shout out to my Elder Asa, and all the other elders who I am submitted to. If you see this, you know who you are, and I love you, and I appreciate all of your guidance and wisdom, and we're going to continue to move forward as one body, right? And then I'll find out if it's okay for me to name some of my elders, and so I can give the proper credit to who it's due. I think that's important as well. But I stepped away to allow my elders and my especially my direct elder to pour into me. I would go get trained by my own elders or taught by my own elder on a Shabbat, and then I had to learn more culture. I had to experience more culture, so that when I bring this information to you, it's not out of theory. It's not out of stuff that I feel. I can have all the zeal that I want, right? But if all it is just I'm reading information and I'm just regurgitating the stuff that I've read, it does no good to the masses. Other than just distributing more information. But you can speak with a certain conviction when you talk about the shepherds of the Bible, when you talk about the leaders of the Bible, and you have sheep and goats. You know what I'm saying? You speak with a certain level of confidence, you speak with a certain level of conviction, and even more so, you speak with a certain level of understanding, right? So I've allowed myself to take a back seat voluntarily. No one had to tell me this. I just think it's important, man. I think it's important to sit back and get trained up, you know. And in the process of all this, I believe that I've come back and I'm a better, I have a better understanding of my goal, my purpose. I have a better understanding of what a Hebrew man should be like, what he should look like, what he should be doing, you know. And you know, I was talking to my family about leadership today, and one of those things that I wanted to talk to you all about very briefly is, you know, responsibility. So along this time that I've been away, um, I've gained a different understanding on certain things, like on certain doctrines and certain areas. I've just completely switched perspectives. It's not even necessarily doctrinally based, but I have a different approach or a different understanding of certain things. But you know, but since I'm making this video, you know, I want to say that as far as doctrinally, where I stand in certain doctrines, um, I no longer believe that the 24-hour cycle of the day starts at sunrise. That is something that I used to teach. That is something that I no longer believe, right? And there are certain things that I found that I just couldn't get around. And you know, I tested it and I meditated on it, and certain things I just couldn't get around. And so instead of trying to make the Bible bend to what it is that I was teaching, I would rather bend and just accept what it is that the Bible is teaching. And so I no longer subscribe to a 24-hour day starting at sunrise. I now believe that it starts at sunset. So you know, I taught that. Now I'm letting you know that I was wrong, and I'm correcting that right now. And so no longer will I be teaching that. Um, and I no longer subscribe to the full moon as the new moon. You know, I now subscribe to the first visible crescent. Um, so that's where I'm at as far as real doctrines. You know, on this channel with my ministry, we don't really get into doctrine like that. But because I taught on those things at one point in time when I did used to teach doctrine, really when I was, you know, under another ministry, when I really did used to teach doctrine, I think it's important that if I change my stance to not just do it and, you know, sweep everything that I said under the rug, but, you know, to acknowledge, hey, you know, I was wrong. That was wrong. That's what I believed in. And as I took time to study and to grow and really experience nature, you begin to determine certain things. You really kind of get a sense of what makes sense when you begin to just work outside, you know. But I think it's important that I correct those stances. Like I say, as far as the perspective changes on certain things, there's a lot that I've changed perspectives on. I'm not going to get into all of it, but it's not necessarily doctrinally based, you know. So it's not anything that I feel I need to put out there, but I do have some different perspectives, and over time I will reveal those things through videos on the channel. But you know, since it's not doctrinally based, I'm not gonna really worry about it. But moving forward, TCA will begin to gather again, but no longer in the manner in which we used to gather. There's still a lot of uncertainty about COVID, right? There's still a lot of uncertainty about COVID, and you know, regardless of my faith, your faith, or whatnot, this virus is real, and so I'm not going to be reckless. So we're not gathering, you know, every Shabbat or anything like that. But it's maybe like right now the plan is set for maybe once every 4 to 6 weeks, right? Because I still want us to be able to get together and do and fellowship in some capacity, but meeting all the time, that's too much. Some people do it, you know, more power to them. I'm not knocking anybody for what it is that they do. That's not what I'm going to do as the leader of TCA. But we are going to begin to start meeting again. Um, and I'm looking forward to that. I'm excited to see your faces in person. And man, these bugs are killing me, fam. Um, to see your faces in fellowship with you, and really to have that that firsthand contact, but in a responsible manner, as responsible as we can. So that's pretty much it right now. I have a whole bunch of things that I want to say, or teachings, not just opinions or anything, but just teachings, things that I've noticed in the scriptures since I've been away, and I'm going to start bringing that stuff forward, and hopefully it can edify you, make some sense. I hope some stuff that I say is stuff that you can apply to your life. Um, you know, just is what it is. That's all I got right now. Peace and shalom.